Good evening. Good evening, friends. Welcome to my craft room. My glasses are reflecting. My name is Tina Bickford. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Here in the US. I'm located in southern New Hampshire. Welcome to my craft room. So, if you're here live, watching live, go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what the weather is like in your area. We had some rain this morning, and then we had a little bit. The sun's been out most of the day, but then we just got a really strong downpour about an hour ago. So that was something. So we have actually gotten 2.5 inches of rain since Friday. And we are expecting between this coming Friday and Saturday, we're expecting another approximately 2.5 inches of rain. Wow. Hi, Carol. Welcome. Welcome to my craft room. So last week, oh my goodness, it's been a long week. It's only Wednesday. It is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. I don't even know what day it is. It feels like it's been a whole week already. It's only been half a week. Hi, Kathy. How are you? So on Sunday, we played around with that all zipped up bundle, which has been kind of, it's been fun. It's been fun playing with the whole zipper thing. It's kind of cool. But then at the end of the video, I mentioned I was like envisioning like a kimono style card that I could make from it. So I did some playing, and I've had a lot of fun making these cards. Wow. Crazy. I can't wait to show them to you. So I'm gonna hi Sandra. And yeah. Sunny at the moment. Yeah. It was a long week on Monday. Yes, I agree, Kathy. It was a long week. Like by noontime, it was already a long week. It's so funny. All right, let me switch down to the desk camera real quick and grab these. Just wanted to come back and show you. These were the cards that we made on Sunday with the little zipper and the zipper. And just a plain one with the zipper going all the way down and with buttons instead of a zipper. And did I show this one on there, or did I make this one after? I'm not really sure. I may have made this one after. So I did this one. I actually stamped some stripes on the card base before I put the two sides of the sweater on, to make it look like there was a striped shirt underneath. That one. This is the card that we actually made. Oops, can't show you that. This is the card we actually made. Cool. Love it, love it. So it was when I was doing this one right here, when I was doing this one right here without the zipper, I was thinking, wow, I see this as something different. So I made some cards. We're gonna make one tonight that's like a kimono. It's gonna look like a kimono. And then wait until you guys see the alternates that I made. Like I said, I have had a really fun play with this with these dies. So I'm just starting with my standard size card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to give that a fold and a crease. And then I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. So both of them are cut. I decided that I wanted to, I cut this one the wrong size. Okay, hold on. Hold, please. Oh my goodness. I guess it's gonna be one of those. I guess it's gonna be one of those days. It's supposed to be. I, I'm laughing at myself. Do you guys see what I did? I am laughing at myself. Hi, Louise. Welcome. I cut it wrong. So now I have to go back to this gorgeous paper. What pattern was it? This one right here. All right. I thought I'm going to be so prepared for this, but clearly I am not. So it is cut at 5 3/8. Both pieces are cut at 5 3/8. One is cut at 3.5, and the other is at 2 inches. So let me just move that mistake piece off to the side. So we have this piece that is 5 3/8 by 2 inches and 5 3/8 by 3.5 inches. Yes, it is wider than your card base. That's all right. Okay, so we're using the all zipped up dies. These are the ones that have that fun zipper. And I told you guys, I struggled with this until I watched that video from what is her name? Erin McCarty. And then it just made all kinds of sense. So I'm just going to be using these two. These are the two trim pieces. And I'm going to bring in my stamp cut and emboss machine. Those out of the way. Let's bring this old girl in. All right, so I'm going to be die cutting. So I need, you guys have seen me do this a million times. Base plate 1, thin die adapter 2, one of my number 3 cutting plates, and then we're going to load this up. So I'm going to put both of these side by side, figure out which way I want them to go, which way is up and which way is down, because there'll be a V that comes down, right? Because of the way these cut. So I'm just figuring that out, the pattern, and then I'm going to place these, oops, come down a little bit. Am I still in the camera? Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to come down and I'm going to place these dies on, and I'm putting the die right at the end and right at the edge here. Just do that. And you can use a Post-it. I'm going to use my little, I had some Mother's Day cards that I needed to mail out, and they needed to be mailed today to make sure that they get to the recipients when I want them to. My little Post-it. And then I'm just going to put that top number 3 cutting plate on, and we are going to roll that through. How's everybody's week going? You guys all have plans for Mother's Day? Anybody have plans for Mother's Day? Just get all this stuff off my cutting, and let's get that out of the way, and I'll show you what we are left with. Okay, other than a mess. Get my Post-it off. Okay, so we have, oops, 2 pieces now that look like this. And you'll also get these 2 pieces here, like that cut. That's the way that those dies, they cut all the way through on both sides. So you get those. I'm not going to use these trim pieces. I'm going to save them for another project, but I'm not going to use those ones. Set those dies aside. And then you get just, you know, some pieces of just these little pieces that are scrap. All right. Bring that card base back in. Okay. So I also cut. I wasn't sure what color I wanted to use for my trim. So I have basic white and I have early espresso. And I want to show you guys what they look like on, and maybe you can help me decide which one you like better. So this would be the basic white. That's how that would look, basic white, which is super cute. There's a Flower and Jazz Festival on your main street this Saturday. Oh, that sounds so fun. All right, so white, and then we're going to go with the early espresso. Now remember, this is supposed to look like a kimono. This is just the start. This is the trim. So that's the early espresso. Do you guys like the white, the basic white, or the early espresso? Which one do you guys like? I really like the early espresso, but what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Anybody? White or brown? White or brown? Which ones do you like? While you're voting, so the other piece of this that I did, I used from the Notes and Totes dies. Okay, Sandra is saying white. So from the Notes and Totes, I used this is just like a little scarf, like a little bow with the scarf ties. I used this and I cut two. I did one in early espresso and one in white. Okay, we have votes for white. Okay, we'll do white. We're doing white. Okay. So I used that to just to die cut this because we're obviously going to have a tie around this, and I thought this was perfect. So wait till you see how that looks. All right. So what I did here, I'm going to put my trim on. I found this to be the easiest way is to put my trim on first. So I'm just going to spin these around so that I can put my glue on. And I'm just putting a little dab of glue, little line of glue along the very edge on both of these, like so. And then I am going to line up my trim piece for each of those. Like that. And we'll let that glue just get set that. And I'm going to grab my snips and just trim off those little bits that overhang. There. Those out of the way. All right. So then, I mean, even that pattern would be really cool for the, but I liked this one. This one made me think of, more like kimono style fabrics. All right. So I am making sure that my card opens the right way. I'm going to take my smaller piece and I'm going to put that right on. So I'm just going to load up the back with a nice light line of glue. And I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to, right here at the score, I'm going to put that on even sides on all three sides here, because I've got a nice narrow border here. Like that. And then this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just put our glue on nice and thin. And this one, we're going to line up with this edge, but do the same thing. Nice, thin, even borders around those three sides. It should line up on the bottom with your other piece, like so. Voila. And then what I did was I cut a piece of just basic white. I did the same thing with the early espresso in case you guys chose early espresso. This is 4 1/8 inch long, so it's the same width as the DSP is from edge to edge. And then I did 3/8. Let me just double check that. 3/8. Yes, 3/8 of an inch wide. Now, I did some of the others I did this piece a 1/4 inch wide because this trim is a 1/4 inch wide, but I liked this because this is supposed to represent the belt. I liked this a little bit wider. So I just 3/8 by 4 1/8, and I'm just going to put my glue on. Nice coverage. My fingers are getting a little sticky with glue, so need my tweezers to help me pick this stuff up, like there. And then I'm just going to lay this across. So this is going to be our belt holding our kimono closed, like that. And then our tie, I'm going to put on with dimensionals. We did have to cut some dimensionals down to fit on here. I'm just going to take those two little edges. One there. Oop, stuck to me. It's because I have glue on my fingers. And then one there. And this is going to go right. Now you can place this tie anywhere you want. You can put it anywhere on here that you want. I liked it just offset a little bit so that it was on the wider part of the card, and just pop that up with dimensionals. And then I have just a little sentiment that I stamped and then fussy cut. This is actually from the Fancy Borders photopolymer stamp set. Let me grab that so you can see what that looks like. So it's just this little one right here. And I am going to put that one up with dimensionals also, because why not? Like that and like that. And I'm just going to put that right up here, like so. Now this one, you could also put some, put some embellishments on. Yeah. I don't really have any embellishments handy. I didn't take any of them out. So I guess this is it. So you go, yeah, I mean, you can put embellishments on here if you want, some rhinestones or, you know, whatever you want. You can do that, but there it is, a kimono card. Now you can, if you wanted to, you could trim that little bit right there so that it actually looked like a little V-neck. Why don't we do that? I think that would be kind of cool. So we're going to do that. And I'm actually going to leave the same 1/16 of an inch border around that. Cute. Cute. There is our kimono card. So there's that one. Super quick, super easy. And you know, I suppose, I mean, technically you could do this. You could just cut a slant, you know, do what I, you know, cut your pieces, your design series paper. You don't even need dies, but you could just cut that slant and mirror it on the other shorter piece and still do the same thing. And then I have a bunch of alternates I want to show you. So let's just go back to, this is what the sweater, the little sweater looked like, and that's my kimono. All right, so there's our card. And then, so when I was giving it a play with my kimono, I used this one. it's the same from the same designer series paper pack. This is just the wild wheat. And then with the early espresso on a white card base, so that kind of looks like a shirt underneath. This is from the Thoughtful Moments, I think it is, the hybrid embossing folder. So I just die cut that out of the same thing. And then I have been playing with some of this the wax melt stuff, like when you're sealing envelopes. I'm still not great at it. As you can see, this one's really kind of off. But I thought that would look that looks kind of cool on there with made it kind of look like a badge on the kimono. So I did that one. And then I did this one using, this is from the and this is new designer series paper, Blossom Impressions or something, or I can't remember the name of it, but this is new. This one's available now. And this is actually the other side. This is the other side of this designer series paper. So just did this one. I did think this one is probably a little bit busy for just this. So then I modified it a bit and I did a double trim. So I thought that looked kind of cool. And instead of doing paper and this bow, I actually used white ribbon as the tie. And then I thought I added like a little chest pocket up here. To me, I thought that with the double trim and the ribbon, I thought this looked kind of like a man's smoking jacket or something like that. So I thought that one was kind of cool. So there's that one. I have them all in the camera frame there. And then of course I had to do one with my paper pumpkin. This month's paper pumpkin. So I did this one. I actually did this one as a gatefold. So instead of doing the overlapping them on the card front, I actually did this one as a gatefold. And the way that the placement of my little bow tie here was I could actually have the kimono open, close this way, or I can have this actually come over and close this way if I wanted and give it just a little different look. So there's that one. And then you guys, this one's my favorite. This next one is my favorite. So I thought it looked like a kimono to me. That was where I was going. And then when I got to this one, I thought, okay, well, it looks a little bit busy. I'm going to add white. And then when I added the double trim, I said, oh, it looks like a smoking jacket. So from a smoking jacket, I got a bathrobe. This is the the color doesn't show very well, but this is Bubble Bath. And I used the Dashing Designs embossing folder for the bathrobe itself, but I left the trim and the belt not embossed. I put a little bottom pocket and then filled it with tissue. Pocket, I filled it with tissue. And then I did this. This is from that same Thoughtful Moments. How stinking cute is that Get Well card? I love it. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with this card. And I really like the way this one came out. And I like the gatefold. This one took a little bit more figuring to get the size of the designer series paper right. But yeah, so there. Yay. Thank you, Louise. Yes, thank you. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. But that just shows you, like, just start with something. Start with what it's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be, right? This you see all of the cards with this, but it doesn't have to be this. When you work with this, modify it a little bit. This card, I didn't even put the trim on. It's just the zipper. I didn't even use those trim pieces. This one, I didn't use the zipper at all. I just put the zipper pull down here so that it's just like a half zip up sweater. This one has the trim and the zipper. Yeah. So yeah, just give it a play, you know. Love, love. Probably should have put more tissues in there, but I am obsessed with it. So I am gonna have more. I'm gonna play with this a little bit more when I get back from vacation, of course. Yes, right, Sandra, the bathrobe. I love the bathrobe, and you could do this in. I thought, oh, which one is it? The Notes and Totes. So the Notes and Totes, this is probably my next one. So the Notes and Totes has this relax and enjoy, which I really like this. So I thought you could do this in like a white embossed bathrobe, like in a spa. You could put a pocket in here, but no tissues, obviously. And you could do relax and enjoy. And you could actually do this as a, you could do like a gift card holder in here for like a spa or a facial gift card or something. I thought that would be cute. So that's probably where my next one is. That was where my idea went when I hit this one. So yeah, so that's a card. Quick and easy. Oh my goodness, we're not even a half hour in. So I am gonna just switch back to me, the laptop. I know this one was so quick. And I did cut some things ahead of time so that I could be quick. But yeah, I hope you guys make these cards and I hope I see them. So the one that is on my Paper Pumpkin, this one will be going on the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club Facebook page, but I wanted to get this video done first. So yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, the smoking jacket, right? So the smoking jacket, I thought you could do the smoking jacket in like the pebbled path or the basic gray, and you could do. I have an embossing folder. It's not Stampin' Up. It's like the looks like the quilted pattern, like a tufted quilt. I'll bet that would be cute. And I'm gonna try to do that. Oh, the ideas. I'm gonna have all these cards. Lord. But yeah, the smoking jacket would be great for male birthday. If you have somebody that likes smoking pipes or cigars, it would be a perfect male masculine birthday card. So yeah, cool. Okay, so I've already put all of the links, my Facebook page, my Pinterest, all of that in the description of this video, along with all of the a list of the materials that I used to make the kimono card. And I'm not sure about a project sheet just yet. I am going on vacation. So I will be gone Saturday. So I won't have a video this coming Sunday, and I won't have one Wednesday, a week from tonight. I am going to try to record at least one, if not two videos, so that I can have them, I can schedule them for those times so that you guys can still tune in and see some great cards. But no promises there. It's been, one of those weeks. So if not, if I'm not able to, then I will for sure be back I'll have a video on the 18th, and we'll just kind of pick up from there. So this will be the last live until then. And yeah, I hope you all have, if you're not mothers, still happy Mother's Day. If you are mothers, I hope your kids get you great things for Mother's Day. If my daughter is watching, I hope she gets me great things for Mother's Day. So I wish you all a happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And I will see you all when I get back, and I will be rested and, you know, relaxed and probably unprepared for my first live video. But you all know that. You probably expect it from me by now. So thank you, Sandra. I will enjoy my trip. It is a long time coming. So I will see you all live in a week and a half. And until then, enjoy, and I'll see you.